Hello, Positive Filter listeners. It's Philip Wilkerson. So recently, I discovered StreamYard, which is a really, really good application to use to record yourself live on Facebook and then use that audio to either post on Facebook, YouTube, or this podcast. So me and Jermaine, who is the host of the Hustle podcast and the Pregame podcast, experimented with StreamYard, and we decided that this content was so good that we're going to release it for the listeners. So please enjoy this bonus episode of the podcast, Positive Filter. Welcome to Positive Filter with your host, Philip Wilkerson, a podcast that focuses on friends, family, health, and career with a little self-help around the way. Please join me in this journey for self-improvement, and I hope that what I have to share will make you a better person, thus making the world a better place.
Yo, Eon, I'm going on Facebook Live right here, just letting you know.
Yo.
They don't walk by, and
we live right now. So hey, Positive Filter listeners and pregame podcast listeners, Hustle podcast listeners. It's Philip Wilkerson and Jermaine. We're back or together with a live episode. This is our first time using StreamYard. We're not sponsored by nobody but ourselves. Shout out to us. But one is that me and Jermaine are good at experimentation. So we're going to try this live thing. Drop your questions or not. But what we're going to do is we're going to ask each other questions while people, if they do join in, drop us questions. So we're going live right now. Let's see how this works. We got 0 listeners, but who cares? All right. So Jermaine, for our podcast, so me and you we are kindred spirits. We are very similar people. We're very creative. We're very extroverted, and so I think that we'll play a game for the time being until maybe we get bored. So I got this thing called, if you can see that, it's called Best Self. Now, Best Self, aka, is not another sponsor. I don't have sponsors. I wish. Hey, Best Self, if you holler at me, I'm down. I love your cards. But these are cards where they kind of spark conversation. And so I bought them a while ago because I have a hard time talking to new people, as you could tell. Sarcasm. But, there's some topics. So I'll shuffle these cards and you go, I go. How about that? Now, mind you, these cards are going to ask things like, what's your favorite holiday? But they might get deep. So if you say skip, that's totally fine with me. I'll probably say skip a few of them. So right now, let's do the first one. You go first. So this says, what's a skill you learned when you were young that you still use today?
A skill that I learned young that I still use today. Sheesh. Oh man, that's difficult. I feel like I just grow so much as time progresses. Sometimes it's hard for me to look back and see what I learned young.
Yeah.
How young is young?
I'm thinking like something where you were a kid and you still do it and you never thought of it as really a skill. So I can answer this question, right? What's the skill you learned when you were young that you still use today? Talking to new people and asking questions. I learned that skill. I mean, the skill of talking to new people and engaging in conversation, which I believe is a skill that you learn. I believe I was always like that. And I think that I knew that was a good thing to do because I always learned that, like, I like meeting new people. And I figured that out early. I think I figured that out since a kid that I like talking to people. And then I think that it's still something I use today, obviously, very well, So I think that'd be my skill.
Okay. Got you. I found out mine. Mine is, selling, flipping, investing as a kid. And so, I really just recently started my investing journey because I didn't have any type of money, for one, when I was younger, and two, when I was in college, it was just kind of like work, take care of what I need to money wise while I'm in school because I was already in debt. But once I got out and I started working and was getting actual like income on like a regular basis, kind of consistently, then I started utilizing it. But my mom will say like when I was like 5 years old, I was talking about we need to get some bonds, we need to get some stocks. Like
at 5?
As a kid, bro, at like 5, yeah. My mom will tell you like, and it's crazy because I'm like, wow, like. And it's like, it's something that I learned when I was younger that I kind of kept in my life because I started investing for example, right, I was interning, right? I got my 401k as an intern. A lot of people didn't do it, but I was already like there, right? So it's kind of like, I see how it played out in my life, but I didn't really fully remember that moment until I was like here. And I was like, oh snap, I really have been like I've been like this forever. So yeah.
All right, so So how about we just both answer both of these because that's what's going to happen. So
okay,
one of these. What is something you think everyone should do at least once in their life?
What's something I've done? What's something I've done that I feel like everybody should?
Oh, do? So you talk about yourself too? Like I was thinking about something that I even haven't done yet, but yeah, what's something?
Something that I feel like I should do.
Yeah, what's something? Yeah, something you think everyone should do at least once? Huh?
You go first.
Okay, I'm gonna do the PG version. I think everyone at least once in their life should leave this country and go visit another country. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if everyone has the luxury to do so. Definitely.
You don't have passports.
Passports. You might not get banned, travel banned, but I think the getting outside your world and seeing the country from an outside perspective is useful. I just think that it's something to see how global we are. Everyone should leave this country at least once and see another country. And I don't care what country it is. Now, I would go as far as saying even extra, go to one that's more foreign to you and it's outside your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. If that's going to be your one country, if you get one opportunity to leave this country, don't go to some like westernized country that's kind of like don't go to England.
Don't go to England. Yeah.
Or something like that. Go somewhere completely different, like Thailand or China or something like that. Mm-hmm. Get outside. And then also additionally with that question is, if you're going to go outside this country, don't stay in the resort. Get outside the resort. See the real country. See the real people. So that'd be my one thing you should do at least once in your life.
Yeah. I think that's what I would say as well. I don't have anything to add to that. That's a good one because there's nothing. Everything I hear on people's bucket list is stuff that I don't really care to do. Like out of a plane or like, stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't really care for it. So I feel like this is one that I definitely subscribe to and I agree with like 100%.
All right. Yes. You thought I was going to say something like, don't do like everyone should try meth at least once.
Yeah.
No. All right. Let's go to the next one. I'm just picking different colors. So that was a gray one. I'm going to try a blue one. You ready? I don't even know what the colors mean. Uh-oh. Yeah, here we go.
Why you sound so excited?
Look at this. What's the best date you ever been on? Look at that, Mr. Romeo. What's the Oh, you have to put no name. The best date. Uh-oh.
The best date that I've been on is wow, I think I know exactly which date it was. Dang, I have a number of dates that are really good, but I have a number of dates. Okay. But the one that I'm going to talk about is I went on a date in New Orleans, right? And we went to this restaurant. And it was just like, I feel like it was just like a whole date the whole weekend. So it's just like, it was like everything that weekend was great. But this one day we went to this restaurant and I had food I never had before. And it was the best meal I've had ever.
So it was the meal.
I had turtle soup. Like turtle soup. Like I've never had turtle before. Like who eats turtle, bro?
I know, but I would eat turtle. Hold up. So was the date good because of the food? Like what?
Yeah, the date was good because of the food. The munch. And I also had quail. Quail is like chicken, but it's like more finesse,
Hey, yo, I'm mad that you're saying the best date is It's totally not the conversation part. It's more about the food.
It was the good food. I mean, the conversation was, consistent. Like, I feel like all the dates I be on, it's just like the conversation, whatever conversations have already been had. Like, because, I'm coming from a college perspective, right? Where your first date is Netflix. Like college students don't have like real first dates. Their first date is like going to study together, or like watching Netflix, or like you see somebody at a party and you're like, let's link up at the next kickback, or let me invite you to a kickback. Like,
okay, I get that, but that's considered a date,
bro. So then so that's what I'm saying. So I don't have a lot to pick from, right? Because like that's the college life, right? So now that I'm out of college, like,
hold up, but like what it is not just hanging out. Like you kind of think like we watching Netflix. If we watching Netflix, me and a female by ourselves, what is that considered a date?
Yeah, I mean, and from my perspective, from where I came, like undergrad, yes, that's like, I mean, that's not really like, you know what I'm saying? That's not like you going out and taking out a girl, but then it's kind of like, how often are you really going out and taking out a girl? Like when I was in undergrad, right, I went to the movies, right? I might have gone bowling, to a concert, right? But it's kind of like all those experiences are so synonymous because nothing really new or spontaneous happened between the different individuals that it happened with. It was kind of like, oh, we bowled, she won. Oh, we bowled, I won. I got to know her a little bit. It wasn't nothing special about it, but that New Orleans trip, man, like the food I was eating, bro, I tried like, you know what I'm saying, crawfish and like turtle and like quail and what else? I had all these different stuff, bro. Beignets, it's like a little like,
yeah. I mean,
a great place to be at. So like that's the one that I could think of that's like most like, oh, that joint was lit. Like I really enjoyed my time there.
Well, I've only really dated my wife, and so I think I'll kind of go along the same lines. Is that one of the best dates, quote unquote, was in another area too. I think it was combined with the location and the travel and the food. One of the best just chill things. I don't think even she remembers it so much, but I can close my eyes and picture it, was having a date in Pebble Beach, and it was like right on the water. It's in Monterey. It's right on the West Coast. It's Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach is like literally cliffs, and you see the water, and it's like a famous golf course. So I think,
wow.
So I'm gonna kind of go with your thing too. Like our dates are basically the location.
Yeah, because like, bro, if you talk about like which movie date was the best one, it's kind of like, I mean, it's same old, right?
I'm about to get some love on the internet right now. My first movie with my wife was The Rundown with The Rock.
The Rundown. That was The Rock and who?
That dude that plays Stifler.
The dude that plays who?
Stifler in American Pie. I don't remember his name. Sean.
I don't know his name.
I don't know his name.
But yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Let's go to the next
one.
All right. We got dark blue now. I don't even know what these mean. Oh, here we go.
I'm dark blue. Okay.
I guess it's for girls, but I see this happen to guys too. Would you rather be proposed in private or in front of family and friends? Proposed to.
So yeah, I guess
neither.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would. I don't think I would care personally.
I wouldn't either.
But I would say it's probably like, for me, it would probably be more like, if I was to do it, it would be more private.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I wouldn't want the information to leak. And I feel like when I involve family, it's going to leak. Like somebody's sister, somebody's brother, somebody's aunt, like, you know what I'm saying? But when it's private, it's just me. But for me, I mean, I don't really mind. Like, it could happen here, it could happen there. You know, it could happen yesterday, it could happen tomorrow. Like,
call me old school, but I think it's corny. I think a gentleman should do it. Now, like you say, if it's two men and I guess there's no gender rules there, right? And there's two women, but I don't know. I mean, call me traditionalist, but I agree with you. I did mine privately. I think it's more intimate that way, even though your boy likes to stunt. But I also grew up in an age without social media, and so I feel like it's too much now. Like if you try to do it publicly, like everyone's gonna like, you have to like come in on a helicopter and parachute, you know, like,
yes, sir.
Like if you don't do it privately, then you have this pressure to stunt and have like this big party or this, like, what's it called? Those flash mobs where they all sing a song or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't want that pressure. I just would be like, You know,
Hey, marry me.
yo, yo.
Hey, yo.
Have my kids. All right. So we'll try yellow.
All right, bet.
Oh, here we go. So we tried all the different colors. If you could have any fictional if you could have any fictional character as your friend, who would you choose and why?
If I could have any fictional character as my friend, dang, that's hard. But the one I could think about is just Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, my man's just so positive. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's so positive.
Oh, because he's positive?
He's positive and he got a lot of energy. Like, he always want to do something. It's like, okay, well, what we doing? Like, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, when I think of animated characters, like, I'm really thinking of anime because I haven't really watched a lot of animated stuff besides that. And, like, the rest of them are just, like, very brutal and they're fighting a lot. Like, Aang is cool. Like, I mean, be cool.
Which one is that? The one who do the water? Is that the main one?
Nah, it's the dude who does air. Like, he does airbending. So, like, he got an arrow on his head.
Yeah, it's the main one, right? The main dude.
Yeah. The main one. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I watched that thing. It was pretty traumatic, right? Isn't it like a war they've been fighting for like years?
It's a war they've been fighting for 100 years, but how you fight a war for 100 years?
I think after a while.
Some say we still at war, Phil. Stay woke.
Stay woke. We had the war of the mind, you know what I'm saying? We should just do I should get the hat and the eyes that glow. Insert
that. The hat on me.
Psychological warfare. You know what I'm saying? I would say my fictional character would be Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Because I don't know, he's like my man's. We just do stuff. I don't know. He lived a really cool life. He seemed like
he'd be cool too. Like he seemed like he's probably cool as hell.
All right, man. Fight war of the mind. Ooh, this is a good one. These are called. So I guess I mean the blue ones mean experiences. Okay, I got it right. So random. This is random. What would you rather? Experiences, deep, life. And so the blue ones, light blue, is experiences. What was the first concert you went to?
The first concert I went to, I think, was J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
That's your first?
I'm sure my parents took me to a concert or two when I was a kid, and they would go to like these live venues where they were like old school like disco funk people.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that when I was a kid. But I think Forest Hills Drive was my first.
Like your first independent one, like you bought.
My first independent concert, and that was like 2015, I think, or 2014. 2015.
How old are you?
I was. Dang, how old was I? I was like 18 or 19.
Okay, I remember my first one, like really in high school. It was Janet Jackson. Velvet Rope Tour. Mind you, guess who opened? Usher. He wasn't even that famous yet. Like, it was like Usher. And I remember going that jump, and she did like this sexy dance, and she got on stage, and she like danced on a dude.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I had to be like only like 14, 15. I think I was straight hit puberty. I was just like enthralled. I thought it was the sexiest thing I ever seen in my life. Now, if she did that jump now, it's PG. She did that jump now, it's PG.
Yeah,
it shows. I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. And I went twice.
Hey, my man said, "When's the next show?"
I was like in love. I was in love. She did some things. She tied the man to a chair and all this stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is freaky. And then I realize now in my mind, like, yo, that jump is like PG-13 now.
Yeah, bro. Some of the stuff that goes on in the world.
Cuss words in it.
You said it didn't have cuss words?
No, she was doing a lot of sexy stuff with no cuss words in her lyrics.
Hey, man.
Now we go. I listen to like Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? She's fine. Yeah, I definitely feel old. Like that was my first. Like I was a teenager. My first independent concert. Then I started going to concerts a lot in the summer. Right. So we got experience. Oh, here a normal one, a green one. If you could, here we go. If you could do anything in the next year, So 2020, we already know 2020 is in the trash can. So we got 2021. If you could do anything in the next year, what would it be? I like that one.
If I did anything in the next year, dang, I would. Oh, that's a loaded question. You know, I have a lot I want to do.
All right, slow Oh, they keep going. I'm gonna do some too. I got a lot of goals, but I want you to share your goals with the listeners.
I will do. Let me say, I would drop an album. Like I would drop a really nice album that people would like. You know what I'm saying? That would be very versatile. Like it would show a side of me that other people didn't really know I had.
You already got that heat though.
I do got that heat. I got more in store. So I hope that I could drop something like that in 2021 that really hits, you know what I'm saying, that people could really resonate with and really will enjoy. It's all about the enjoyment of others. Like
I got a question, and that is in regards to music, which is your goal for next year. It's on SoundCloud, right?
I do have music on SoundCloud, but most of my stuff is now on Spotify and Apple Music. But I'm gonna get back to the SoundCloud though. You know, drop stuff on that.
Listen to most of my music.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop. So on SoundCloud, I'm Flames Only, FLAMESONLY, and then on Apple and Spotify, I'm Gold Coast Poppy. So that's GOLDCOASTPAPI.
Yeah, I'm already on the Apple. I got you on the Apple.
So I'm gonna get on SoundCloud and drop some more. I haven't dropped any music on SoundCloud for like the last 3 years maybe.
Hold on, what that VA? But that VA for Lovers thing, was that on SoundCloud?
That is on SoundCloud. Yeah, you're right. That's the last thing I dropped on. I dropped it on SoundCloud. I think like last year.
Yeah,
like in the summer.
Look at your boy. I listen.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
That's one of my goals, is drop a mixtape next year too. Now,
do it and let me feature it, please.
Okay, well, you already did that. Did I send you my hooks that I be doing?
No, you sent me a couple mixtape covers, but I don't think you sent me a hook.
I didn't send you one of my random hooks that I be just doing that make.
Maybe you did.
I have to do that.
Like I've heard you rap.
Yeah, it's all I do is just send. All I do is hooks. I don't have any real bars. I just have hooks. But one of my goals is to write more and start the process of writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to do it. I mean, I don't know yet. I'm going to start it. What's another goal? You said it's loaded question. So we got music. What's another one?
Yeah. So I want to take, you know what I'm saying? I want to take the hustle class to the next level. I want it to be very informative on the financial life of like ordinary people. Like I want to interview people and like just kind of like see some of the decisions that they've made in life that they wish they could have done differently, or some of the things they wish they knew. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be very reflective for my older audience and very like looking forward, or like what people are interested in financially for like the younger audience. 'Cause I want to have a lot of guests and also tackle topics that are facing both. Cause like the intro to investing, like some people are like 35, 40 trying to get into investing. And some people are like, you know, in high school, and they're going to hear this and be like, oh, I can do this. It's simple. Or like, oh, there's steps to do this. Like, so I want to kind of like expand that. So that's the podcast. And then what's another thing I'm into?
So we got music, podcast. How about education? You're going through your school.
Yes, I want to pass my classes.
Hey, we got our first comment here. Say,
okay.
Phil, we talked about your books months ago. What's up? Oh, she's trying to shade me. So, hey, Chandra, I am working on the book right now. AK, I'm not. All I have right now is the titles of the chapters. So I know the focus of my book. If I were to do a book, it's going to be on well-being for Black men, particularly. So, Chandra, keep a lookout. Keep me accountable. Keep on bothering me in the comments, and keep me accountable to my goals for the book. Thank you for listening and checking in. Appreciate it. So, I like that. I like your idea. So, and then you're in school too. So you got it well-rounded now.
I'm in school, so I need to, you know, pass on my classes, which, you know, I'm finding to be hard. It's hard to balance podcast, music, and school and work, you know, and family. Like it's hard to just balance everything. So I'm just hoping that in 2021 I can better balance things, like be better on my time management.
I think, and you know, I heard of people that have like, I have a laser focus and a passion, and they only do one thing. You know, like. I didn't go to school. I only want to do music. They didn't go to college. And it's like, and I'm not saying that's a safety net or not, but it's like, I don't have just one passion though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have so many things I want to do in different ways. So I'm kind of, that's why we're the same, but separated by many years, is that I have very creative goals. And then I have very like tangible, traditional work-life career goals. Like I definitely want to have a 9-to-5 and all that stuff. And I enjoy my 9-to-5, but I definitely also want to do creative outlets, and I enjoy my creative outlets, which is podcasting or writing articles or fun stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Sean, I'm just joking with you. I know there's no shade. You're keeping me accountable, and I'm gonna keep you accountable too. Now we got some comments. This is crazy. This is the first time. You ready for the next question?
I am.
Oh snap! What's the biggest purchase you ever made?
What's the biggest purchase I've ever made?
Yeah.
I think my biggest purchase I've ever made is probably it's gonna be between taking a loan for college. I think that's one, but I don't know if that counts. If it's out of my if it's out of my baby pockets, it would be paying for the Alpha membership. That was like huge. I paid for that out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I was on my saving. You know what I'm saying? I was saving a lot of money, and I paid. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't. My parents are like, you know what I'm saying, first generation Americans. They don't know what Greek life is. So it's kind of like I just took my own bread and I did it. Like, so it depleted my savings because I only had savings from like my freshman year till I, did it. So I took all my savings and put in the Alpha.
All of it. You depleted it. I
depleted it, man. For the jewels.
So you was gonna say, it was like, I better finish.
Bruh, what? If I didn't, bruh, I would have wanted that refund ASAP.
yo, you was on line. You was ready to be like, hey, I'm finishing. Yeah, before you, I am crossing these burning sands. If nothing's gonna stop me. Okay. I use that check. So yeah, I would say the biggest purchase, if it's like big money, is my house that we paid for, but it's not technically. I don't know that consents because I'm also agreeing like. I paid for the home, me and my wife, but technically it's not complete. So is that a complete purchase? So I don't know, right? Like we still
was the down payment a lot though?
Yes, it was. We put a good grip on it from savings, my parents' savings, assistance from family and friends. Like it was like our wedding gift to us. Like it was our first big purchase.
Yeah, I would say that's.
But if it's not that, shoot. I ain't gonna lie, in the thousands of dollars, it's gonna be my Alpha membership.
Yeah, that Alpha membership is crazy, bread.
Individual, like really complete, like a real transaction,
a real check. Like, dang.
No, that's a real. No, from start to finish, real complete. That was mine. Hey,
yeah, that was bad.
Alpha ain't cheap, y'all.
Alpha ain't cheap.
Don't be broke. My wife told me I was better finished too with all that money. Oh man, here we go. Would you rather be a star player on a losing football team or riding the bench on a winning one?
Dang.
Hey, this is kind of like this. Would you want to be name any player that got a ring on a championship team like that they know they didn't play? Like, did you know that Did you know that Adam Morrison, not Adam, was it Morrison? He got a ring with the Lakers. He didn't play.
Nah, I know. But yeah, like for me, I think it depends on where the biggest check is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the check at? Like, if you're on the Golden State Warriors, bro, chances are you're getting a good check even if you're not doing much, as opposed to another team where actually I take that back. I think the biggest check is with the good player on a bad team because you become the franchise, right? You become like the franchise player.
If you're a good player on a bad team, you get most of the money. You get
most of the money. So that's where you'll find me at.
You lose.
I lose. Hey man, I'm not losing in my eyes. Like look at Dame Lillard. Like Dame Lillard or John Wall, they could have easily gone to other teams and had like KD, like, oh, I went here and I got a ring, but it's like, fam, you cutting this check for me? I'm staying right here.
So big money contract on a losing team. How about big? Okay, I would say, quite honestly, for not getting my body hurt and just chilling, I'd rather be on the bench on a winning team.
For health reasons.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna get beat up except in practice. Maybe it depends on what sport. Like if you're in football, if you play football, you still got to go to practice squad and still get hit. So, but if you like on a soccer team or something like that, like Real Madrid or something like that, I'd love to do that. Just chill. I love You know they say the best position is like the second string quarterback, maybe the third, because you have the pressure, but you don't really get to play.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind being on I wouldn't mind being on a winning team, riding the bench, because guess what I'm gonna do afterwards when I retire and healthy? I'm going to stunt with the ring and say, "Your boy, Super Bowl champ." I want a car dealership. I'm gonna have a car dealership and say, "Philip Wilkerson, Super Bowl champ," and they're like, "You didn't even play." I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Show off the ring. All right. Let's see the next one.
Next question.
You still there? Oh, here you go. What is something you're certain you'll never experience, and why?
What is something that you what?
You're certain that you'll never experience, and why?
All right. First of all, thank you, Shonda. I appreciate it. Yeah, I see the comments. And something I'm certain I will never experience.
I know mine. Shoot. Why too?
I don't know, because I feel like there's a lot that I won't do, but at the same time, you can't. Can you ever predict when truly, like, I want to say, like, I'll never drown because I'll never go into a body of water, but like, damn, who knows when I'm gonna be forced to go into a body of water? So it's like,
it's gonna be deep too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I don't want to swim.
I will never experience an animal attack.
Bro, how short are you, bro?
I don't get that close to a dangerous animal in the first place.
Bro, let's say you go on one of these trips to another country, like you were saying, and they say, let's go on this ride. Just there's no animals, and you just encounter a lion out of nowhere, bro.
I went on a safari before, bro. I went on safari in Botswana when I was in the 3rd grade, with my mom to visit another country. I would not get out of the car if they tell me not to get out of the car. I would not put my extremities outside the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see a dangerous animal, I'm going to, like, literally run the opposite way. I don't know. You're right, too. Like, what if, like, you can't control?
It's a hard question to answer for me, just in general. I think
maybe I'll never experience someone doing illicit drugs.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
I mean, if I'm in a concert, a public place, but I'm talking about, like, those guys that get in scandals, like, they were around. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I don't think I'll ever.
I don't know. I don't think I have anyone in my circle that does hardcore drugs.
But then and
it's their circle. It's not me doing it. It's their friends doing it. I don't think.
Bro, imagine one of your homies is in like, yo, we in Vegas, like pull up, and you like, all right, and you just pull up, and then it's just like, what are you gonna do? So it's like, I just feel like this is very hard. It's hard to say, but you'll never certain. Because never is a hard word to use. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure you're right. You didn't even do nothing. You just walked into a room with your friends. Yeah. That's a bad one. Okay.
But yeah.
All right, man. We're going well. Tell me when you're done. What do you believe in spite of having no proof of it? What do you believe in spite of having no proof of it? Okay, we can also say religion, but let's not get religious here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do I believe that I don't have any proof of?
But you know it's real. It's kind of religious, but I know I believe in it.
Yeah, I feel like. I feel like there's one that. So repeat the question again one more time so I can make sure I'm
answering it. What is something that you believe in despite having no proof of it? There's no proof.
Dang, there's no proof. Okay. Well, there's a constant, like, at least at my age, there's this conversation where it's like, can you be platonic with a female when even though you have, so for like heteros, like if it's a female and you're a male, it's kind of like, can you have a platonic relationship with that person when you already have a significant other? And I think that I don't know if that's provable. If it can be strictly platonic.
I seen the proof.
Where?
Me and myself.
Oh, okay.
I'm married straight up. I love my wife, but one of my closest female friends is Shay. Shout out to the Deltas out there. That's a proof. And I have no extra platonic attraction to Shay. Now, she is attractive, but I don't have that because of the strict friendship. So I've seen that.
but somebody would say the mere attractiveness in general, and you having that understanding that the person is attractive, even if you have no attraction, is already, I don't know. It's weird, bro. But I agree with you.
I definitely, I mean, but you can appreciate and say someone's attractive or has attractive qualities without being sexually attracted to people.
Yes.
Like I can say, yes, you look good, or you have a nice physique, or you're in shape, or you are attractive. You are a pretty person without being attached to that. You know, I am strictly stating, I would believe, and it's not a fact because attraction is subjective, right? Like,
yeah,
attractiveness is subjective, but you can objectively say someone's attractive and say that's it. I'm just making an observation. Like with my eyes, I think you're attractive, but that doesn't mean anything deeper than that. Any, emotional connection like that. Now, with, like you said, emotional connection, yes, I am emotionally connected to my female friends, but there's also a level of boundaries too. Like I have a deeper emotional relationship with my wife that's deeper than any other female. But I can also say I have a female friendship where if I have a hard day or a tough time or I'm feeling vulnerable, I can say, my insecurities and I'm feeling bad. I can tell Shay that stuff too. So there is a line. But I think the proof is there because I think there's a lot of people that have cross-gender relationships that are strictly platonic and cross-gender relationships where they both know the opposite party is attractive, but that's what it is. They're just done there.
Yeah.
So I would say my proof is the thing I don't have proof of is whatchamacallit. It's more like a spiritual. I'm not going to get super religious, but I think there's no proof in divine intervention and things happening for each moment. Like, people can say scientifically, like, 1 out of a million chance. But like my thing I truly, truly believe in is the interconnectedness of all people and that every single second happens for a reason. Like to the second, like you ever watch that, John? Like if you would have stepped once, like a meteor would have just fell on you or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or just second to the left, it would have fell on you. Like there's something about that, like that minute second by second difference of what's happening, that everything is supposed to happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think science can prove that. Numbers, ratios, all that can't deny fate. I think there is I believe in fate. I believe in destiny. I believe in like God's plan and a general orchestrator. Mm-hmm. And there's no science. I mean, science can prove it. Like they go say, well, based on geometry and physics, that was a 1 in a million chance. But I feel like even beyond that, there's certain things that couldn't even be 1 in a billion chance that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's the one I believe in without scientific proof. All right. Oh, what show did you what show on Netflix did you binge watch embarrassingly fast? Like you binge watched it really fast, kind of embarrassingly.
So the one that I watched, I guess, embarrassingly fast, like literally went through the whole thing in like a day, is the Love Is Blind one. That song where they like,
yeah. I didn't watch it. I sat down and saw bits and pieces. So I knew I liked it. Who I didn't like. That one girl was tripping.
She was tripping. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
Everyone hates on, right?
Yeah, I don't even remember her name. I don't remember. She was tripping.
I watched Ozark really fast, but I watched that Altered Carbon really fast.
Altered Carbon. Okay, I'm on Ozark now.
It was so bad. When I say embarrassing fast, I was watching it, and if I couldn't watch it on TV, I was watching it on my phone. And I watched phone and TV. And she was like, "How'd you finish?" And I was really embarrassed that I literally on my phone. My wife embarrassed me.
Yeah.
Oh, we get some good questions in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a deep one. Are you ready? This is a deep one. I'm gonna let you go on that and expand. If you could solve one world problem, what would it be?
Man, I think the most important one is definitely the global warming and stuff like that. That's what you see. So it's basically like, what is my real answer and then what is my emotional answer? my emotional answer is poverty. Like people, like extreme poverty cases and classism and homeless people and all that. Like, that's definitely a big one. And then the one that's more like realistic is just like there's just way too much pollution.
So you have a scientific answer and you have a humanitarian answer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we got a little cheat on that one because I'm gonna do the same thing. I think my humanitarian answer is systematic racism, classism, and all those different divides in people. That'd be my humanistic heart one, and then my scientific one is like overpopulation / resources and just depleting the world. And when I say overpopulation, I meant like overpopulation in regards to the resources, like chopping down all the trees and using up all the water and mining up. Like we don't have that much resources on this earth. Like it's not infinite, and we're just using it all up. So that'd be my scientific answer. But my humanistic answer would be like things that divide us systematically, such as money and class and all those things and race. That'd be my like one thing I would love to solve as a way to conquer those systems. Here we go. Oh, I got my soapbox for this one, and you got yours. But what are you worried most about the next generation? Uncle Phil, soapbox.
Dang, what am I worried about for the next generation? I feel like my biggest fear for them is continuous desensitization and just desensitization, addiction, and there's one more thing: desensitization, addiction, and I think that might be it.
I was kind of actually. It's funny too because I don't know, you're Gen Y or Gen X, whatever they call it. I'm a millennial supposedly, and that kind of overlaps with yours. Is that desensitization, and it's kind of like lumped in with social media and just like unrealness, and not real like as in people are fake. No, don't get me wrong, but as in a fake sense of self. As in, I'm worried about the generation thinking that their worth is superficial worth and that equals real worth. I see it so much with young people that think that they had to like prove something and then prove it not on themselves, but prove it on a grand stage such as social media for likes.
Yeah.
It takes away from it being real for them, and also takes away from that not everyone is going to like what you do and give you all these likes.
Yeah. I had to learn that at a young age.
I mean, look at this. We're doing a live podcast right now, and we're experimenting, and we only got like 4 likes and 1 viewer in and out. For me, the bigger picture is that me and you figured out a new platform. Like, I would assume for myself that this is something we can use and get better. And also it's going to be permanent. Once it's done, people can watch this later. So I see the value in this, but next generation, they're like, that's not enough. Delete it. In the broadcast. It's like, they're like looking for an audience. And I was like, I'm looking for both. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm in the middle. I think I'm in the middle generation where I like an audience. I ain't gonna lie. Your boy like to stunt, but at the same time, I'm almost in this middle generation where I like my individual journeys too, and I'm starting to get more and more proud of myself. Regardless, like if no one noticed, I know that I did a lot of work, and I'm proud of myself. So it's kind of and I'm worried about
great.
I'm worried about that for the next generation because they definitely worried about them. They stun on the Instagram and likes.
Yeah, them likes, bro, and them likes ain't gonna get you nowhere, bro. It's that gratification from others, and like a lot of it is. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of like they don't know how to deal or cope with their issues, and so the social media, and it just came at a time where like I feel like when you were younger, right, you had problems that you probably had to work through, right, just like go through life and work through them. Like now, for me to work through my problems, I can go on the internet and find anything to trigger endorphins and dopamine in me to make me feel better about my situation and basically avoid my problems. Like people are not dealing with their problems in this generation. They kind of go to TikTok or Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, and just kind of like, okay, I'm seeing content I like, or I'm watching YouTube videos I like, or I'm feeling good. All right, not dealing with the issues that they actually have going on in their life, right? That's why
Now,
I always try to get young people to like start therapy, like to really work through some of the issues that they have in life.
now you're very insightful and very young.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice like it's all about self-awareness because like I said, I can see myself doing it too. Like I'm not going to totally get on a pedestal and say I don't like attention. I don't like to, I definitely, even in the middle generation, millennials like to comment and use social media and get likes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's to the extent of younger people, but you are also doing like, you're also very aware of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think that awareness comes from to kind of separate yourself from a generalization of we made a big generalization of a whole generation.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is very atypical than a generation that is very wise. I'm gonna give you mad credit.
Yes. Thank you, bro. Appreciate
what was that from? Older influences? Like, how did you get that? Like,
so I feel like I'm right in between. I feel like I'm a good bridge for the gap. So I'm technically, based on my age and birth and everything, I'm technically a millennial, right? But both my younger siblings are not millennials, and two of my LBs are not millennials, and the rest of the chapter, my best friends, a lot of them aren't millennials. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm right there, right? And also I'm hip to a lot of, I'm funny, so I stay with like the social media and like the funny stuff. So I'm always abreast with what's going on. So I kind of like have some old school in me a little bit, and then I kind of have like some new school in me. So it's kind of like with that divide within me, I can see both sides and kind of, really like differentiate. And like, I feel like it's just a blessing. Like, I don't know, sometimes I could just conceptualize and like see the holes and where things should be better, but I just can't. I think it's because I'm in the middle. I think that's why.
I do that too. I think I feel I'm in the middle of two other generations between the millennial one and the older one to me. And I think that's the same insight to say like, well, my parents, if you look at grandparents, they drop that junk on Instagram. They don't care.
They don't care how they look. They could look, you know what I'm saying?
No, they don't have no lights either. Man, they got those uncles that just be dropping stuff and they're like, why? It's like, because that's funny. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I like
so it's like you can see the differences, and like, I'm also I'm somebody who's very good at seeing what I do and seeing other people do it and being like, oh, this is a problem. How do I fix it? So like kind of how I was saying, like, yes, I've also had a situation where I'm like, fam, I just need to go and like double tap, or I need to go and like do something on my phone, or like, you're sitting down, you don't have any notifications, but you just grab your phone and just do stuff on it. Stuff like that. When you like, you don't want to sit and give yourself time to think. You always want noise, visual noise, audio noise. You just want something to distract you from silence in yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I noticed that about myself and I can tackle it. But that's also, I think therapy helped. I did therapy at CAPS. I did a lot of group therapy, and I also did some individual therapy. And I think that kind of helped me better understand the things that I was facing. And so I always encourage like younger people, and you'll tell them and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And they won't do it. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? I always let them know if your problems, the more you just double tap, it's not going anywhere, staying with you. So you have to deal with them.
Yeah, I think a self-awareness is big too. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I'm perfect, but I think sometimes I do have enough time, not in the moment, but later on I could be in retrospect and I'd be like, I definitely could see myself outside myself and see that I make mistakes. And then I realized, like, even with the generation thing, like we're talking about attention and all that, like, did I really do that? Like, it almost happens sometimes at the end of a journey. Like, did I really do that for myself, or did I do that to like get attention? Or did I really do that to stunt? And sometimes the answer is actually yes. Like,
it's a stunt.
Yeah, like I wanted people to notice me. Like I wanted to ball out. But then sometimes I'm like, at the end of that journey, like a byproduct was I did it for other people, but I still did it for myself too. So it's half and half. And I think it comes with awareness. Let's hit two more, and then we're gonna do a shout out, and then we, call it like a typical individual questions. But this is fun, Jermaine. We should figure out how to do this. I wish we could do this on Instagram too, because that's where the people's at.
Yeah, we could do it on Instagram.
We could do it on Instagram, but I want to know how to see this thing. Is what I like about this is that we can save it.
Yeah, unless you might be able to turn on your screen record button on your phone. You know how to do screen record?
Yeah, so you can do that, but you think it'll catch the audio?
Yeah, screen records definitely catch the audio.
Man,
we could test it out. We'll test it out. When we get off this, we'll test it out real quick, and then we'll see if it works.
All right. So, and what important truth do very few people agree with you on? Okay. So, what important truth do very few people agree with you on? So, it's something you know is true, but you ain't got a lot of people that agree with you about it. I got one, but you go first.
Something I know
like, this is true. I know, like, this is important. It's true. And you're like, nah.
I mean, I feel like the agreement is so financial literacy and creating assets for yourself and wealth and building something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's truth in it. Like, it's true that when you are brought up in a household where there is wealth, I'm not talking about rich, where there's wealth, you tend to have a better life. You have more knowledge coming in. You kind of are able to figure yourself out earlier. There's a lot of the road bumps that people go through in life having to do with lower classes and poverty are hurdles that they don't have to go through because there's wealth in the family. Like, for example, like Puff Daddy's kids versus my dad and me, like, there's certain things that I had to go through and do for myself that took away from me really just blossoming into the person that I was like if you're born and you just have all the resources, who you're supposed to be. So stuff like that. Like,
so you're saying more like, so what's the part that people don't agree with you about? Like,
the part that people don't agree with me about is like, I advocate for people learning about it and nobody wants to really learn about it. People feel like they're too late or like,
about the money.
It's not that important.
Oh, so the important truth is everyone should know about money and everyone has a chance to learn about money. It's not too late. It's for everybody.
It's for everybody. And that you should start like investing basically in your future.
And people are going to say, oh, that's not for me. That's not for me.
Bruh, people say like the time has passed. Like, my debt is my debt. You know what I'm saying? I don't make enough. And then what happens is whatever stuff you're going through, it rolls over to the next generation. And then the generational curse of we don't know nothing about nothing. We just kind of take it one day at a time continues.
All right. So that's mine. My important truth that I really believe in that no one believes in is that that same mindset that I can't do because X, Y, and Z. And my mindset is like now like within realistic standpoint, but I believe that anyone could do anything that they really want to do within me. Like, I'm not going to say someone in a wheelchair can dunk a basketball. Like, that's not realistic. But if anyone wanted to be a public speaker, I think anyone in the world could do it. It doesn't separate anyone. But if you stutter, I stutter too much. Well, you can just calm yourself down. Maybe even speak with a stutter. Who cares? But you could be a public speaker still. Nothing's going to stop you from being a public speaker, even with a stutter. Mm-hmm. So within means, I believe that anyone can accomplish certain goals, regardless. And even if there is physical limitations, people will make a way. Like I got 2 legs and my legs, my legs got cut off. I still can participate in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Like, I still can go to the Olympics. There's a Special Olympics. I can still do. So I literally think that anyone can do anything if they really want to, and they'll make a way. Someone says, I want to fly. Well, you might not be able to physically fly, but you can invent an airplane. So, like, I really believe that. And also, with that mindset that you can do anything you want to, I think that maybe even if you can't do it physically or you can't do it, you can study it and at least contribute to it that someone else can do it later. So let's 100%. Say, for instance, I really want to fly, but that's not physically possible. Well, I can do the drawings for an airplane. Maybe I won't physically get to do it in my lifetime, but you can make it a reality for someone way later. Nothing's impossible. Like,
nothing's impossible.
We're gonna clone somebody. Maybe our generation won't, but someone's gonna get cloned. I really believe that. Or we're not gonna live on Earth, or we can't live in different. We can't live in a space station. Well, maybe not our generation, but eventually someone is going to figure out how to live in space stations, like sustainably, like live. So it's like maybe the things that we conceive won't happen with our generation, but I don't think anything's impossible. I think that's I don't know, very few people, I think a lot of people agree with me on it, like crazy scientists and stuff. But I think that I think the mind and innovation and science and all that is making anything capable. And then in regards to individual accolades, like I think any skill, like, oh, I can't do that. I think anyone can film. Anyone can learn how to film. Doesn't mean you're gonna be good at it, but you have the ability. Anyone can everyone can sing. Don't mean you're gonna be good, but you can do it. You can do it. So
yeah,
I definitely believe anybody can do anything if you want to.
I agree.
All right. Last question before we do shout outs and plugs. These are some good cards. No, that's too COVID. I want to end on a good one. Nope. Nope. I want to list for. Whoops. Oh, here you go. Here's a good one. Last one. It's materialistic. If you could only keep 3 things from your home, what would you pick and why? So you know what I think about this one? This is like one of those scenarios where, like, if you had to rush out your house while it's on fire, you can only take 3 things with you. What 3 things would you take?
Laptop, phone, chargers.
Shit. All right. I guess my computer. Oh man, that's a hard one. Well, I guess, but what about all your documents, like your passport and stuff?
Hey, man. Renew that.
All right, man.
We forgot those data. The internet does everything.
You stole my answer. Yeah, that's it. And hopefully what I'm trying to do is back up all my stuff on an external hard drive. So external hard drive, which I have, external hard drive, my laptop, and my keys to my car. At least so I can drive.
Dang, I would have left the keys. Shit.
Yeah, so at least my keys in my car. 3 things. My home, like wallet, doesn't count. That's not your home.
Okay.
All right. So we got 5 minutes left. Shout outs and plugs. Give a shout out to anything that you're working on. The stage is yours. We're gonna do this again. We'll try a different way too. This is an experiment. It went really well. And shout out to Chandra for joining in and giving us a lot of comments.
Yeah, thank you, Chandra. Appreciate it.
And shout out to these 4 likes that we got.
Yep. So first thing I'll plug is my initial podcast with my team, the Pregame podcast, ThePregam3. Very entertaining content. It's made, by Black people for Black people, but anybody can enjoy it. We don't discriminate. But sometimes, some of the verbiage or language on it might not, suit you, but it is what it is. And then a hustle class, that's very, PG. Pretty much G is just talking about finances for Generation Z and Y from, middle babies perspective. And that's HUSSLECLASS. You can find that on Apple, Spotify, Podbean. And yeah, my music, you can check me out on Apple Music and Spotify, GOLDCOASTPAPI. That's it. And send prayers, man. We're going through some rough times in the world, so any prayers are welcome, and I'll be sending out prayers as well.
Yes. And shout out, and we're gonna rip this audio, we're gonna save this, and I'll probably put it on my real iTunes and all that stuff for later. So all the things that Jermaine just said, we're gonna put in the show notes so you can follow up.
Yep.
And I definitely appreciate it. You know where to find me, Positive Philter on Facebook, which we're on right now, Instagram, Twitter. And, we just love doing this. Maybe we'll do this again. I see the feature. Maybe we can add other guests. This is a dope idea. Maybe have a concept, maybe a topic too.
Mm-hmm. Share screen. I see share screen on it too.
You see your screen too. What do we like? This is just the first beginning. Like, taking the podcast to the next level.
Yeah.
I even bought one of those ring things so I can look good with the selfie light. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
look real
yes,
good.
Sir.
Look fancy. So Positive Philter. Follow the podcast. It's Philter spelled with a PH for those that are listening. And if you want to have a question for the podcast, please call the hotline 571-336-6560. That's 571-336-6560. and leave a comment.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening to Positive Philter, a podcast that focuses on family, friends, career, with a little self-help along the way. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your family and friends, and like the Facebook page, Spreading Positivity of Movement. Thanks for listening.